Good morning, everybody. This is Renovati speaking all the way from Elverum, Norway. Today, I decided to make this podcast about the war which has been going on over 1 week in Ukraine, where Russia and Putin has invaded Ukraine. But after watching and reading news about this war from different newspapers and television channels, I felt like this news, the information about this war was somehow confusing and that most of the medias were just hanging on one side and not say much or not say much about the other side. Something which also, blow me much. It is the way Putin act, the way he says things, the behavior. When you look at his face and all the attitude in general, then this pushed me to think, let me research, let me find out about Putin. Another something which is an advantage with me is that I can read, I can speak and write 7 languages. And I thought I can use these 7 languages, these knowledges I have, so that to find out and to find out who is Putin, because I think it is by finding out, going back in history of Ukraine and Russia, going back and understanding who is Putin. By now I focus on Putin, but I will also research and find out who is the president of Ukraine. It is find out who are these people, who are the background of these people, that we can really understand the cause, the roots of this war. There is one book which browsed my mind, the book where the title is Putin's Word That Can Change Lives. There are these words that I want to share with you today. These are Putin's words that can change lives. Most people say that being polite and disciplined can help us achieve great things. But Putin believes that you can achieve more than this when you take that discipline and combine it with weapons. In this world, there are small and big fishes, but when you pray to God, we should remember that God created us in the same way. When a rich man and a poor man pray to God, they should remember that God created them equally, despite what the world says about them now. Journalism is a good profession as spionage, because both professions are about gathering specific informations from different sources and give them to the boss without taking into account the consequences this would have on the society. The state's responsibility is not always to give sweet honey to the population, but sometimes the state's responsibility must be to give the population a bitter medicine. You have to follow laws all the time, either where others see you or where no one sees you. A wise man behaves well, whether there are laws or not. It is foolish to regret, and it is even more foolish to make the same mistakes you had regretted before. Sometimes it is important to live alone to show people that they have made a mistake about you. Sometimes it is important to live alone to show people that they have made a mistake about you. Sometimes it is important to live alone to show people that the decisions you have made were the best for you. Never regret anything, because nothing that happens in human life is an accident. That's the way it should be. Sometimes you have to ignore people to show them that what you do and the way you live is your life, not theirs. No one can love your life more than yourself. Removing bad people from your life does not mean that you hate them. It does mean that you love them more than they hate you. When you spend a lot of time on yourself, evil people get out from your life automatically. I never read books of people who have betrayed their countries. No one should believe that life is a miracle that falls from the sky, because life of miracles does not exist. You create your life because you are the creator of the greatest miracle. Never listen to or follow the advice of a person who once betrayed you, because she may betray you again through those advices. Betray does not happen once, and someone who once betrayed you can betray you again. Hating does not just happen once. Someone who once hated you can also hate you again. So stay away from such people. Sometimes things do not happen as we want, but this must not stop us from trying again. Because to fall down is not to fail, but not getting up is to fail. Every human being has beliefs and values that he or she lives by. The problem is that there is no machine on earth that can measure or show what one believes in, because what you say can be different from what is in your heart. Therefore, they are none to trust in on this earth. Democracy is not a commodity that can cross borders. Democracy is not a thing that can be transferred from one country to another. It is difficult to control other things while you are unable to control what you eat. It is hard and sad to lose something or someone you love. But no matter how much you lose, life is still life, and it must go on. The more advisors you have, the more problems you have. In this modern world, it is easy to know about your weaknesses when you follow the advices of your neighbors instead of following the principles of your house. Then you know that you are weak. Forgiving terrorists is God's job, but sending terrorists to God is Putin's job. It is better to be crucified by someone you trusted than to be rewarded by a traitor. I believe that every human being has a life secret he or she lives in, and she should be respected for that. You realize the value of life when you experience hell. The Third World War would be the end of the human evolution. This is Putin's words that can change lives. Wow.